flying with dragons. It's a known fact that all dragons love to fly. Even mean dragons. Flying and dragons go together. Yes, dragons spend a tremendous amount of time in a cave. Yet, they were born to fly. Isn't it amazing? They weigh thousands of pounds, yet they fly with so much grace. Flying is part of their nature. They are like the modern day surfers today. Both of them capture the true feelings of freedom and being alive. Zoran and the other dragons love to fly in Tibet and China. They love to soar over the high Himalayan mountains. It was cold but refreshing to them. At times they would go out on a moonless night at midnight. They would get mesmerized by the stars twinkling in the night sky. The nighttime was the safest time to fly. They still had memories of dragons being captured and killed during the daylight hours. Dragons love to soar high above and then swoop down, going as fast as they can. At some point, they would change direction. If they didn't know, you know that the dragons know what would happen. They love the feelings of being on the edge of life and death. Sounds like big wave riders today. At some point in the early days, the youngsters would beg little Ricky and little Johnny for a ride. You see, they were experts at flying. In fact, they would have gotten gold medals if they had a sports competition today. They were kind of reluctant at first. They didn't want to be responsible for hurting or killing anyone. But they decided to go ahead and try. They at first just gave simple joyrides. Somehow a saddle was designed. Thanks to David the Dragon, he always had something practical that he conceived from his mind. Darcy, the Thunderbolt, was the first one to fly with little Ricky. Champa was on little Johnny's back. Java was a girl, and Dorothy was a girl. Both of them couldn't believe that they were chosen. In fact, behind the scenes, straws were chosen for each child. The dragons didn't know who to choose on the maiden voyage. Well, it was a dark and moonless night. It was perfect conditions to take Torchy on the Joppa for a ride. Well, little Ricky and Johnny walked to the entrance of the cave. All the other dragons and children followed them to the entrance. Everyone was so excited. It was summertime, and it was a perfect night to fly. Johnny and Ricky looked at each other and both winked. Admittedly, they took off and flew high into the sky. It was a sight to behold. All the children were laughing and giggling with delight. All the other dragons were so happy. Finally, the youngsters could experience such a great freedom. This starts the grand adventures of youngsters and dragons flying together. Zoran used this as a great teaching tool. He asked the youngsters after they got back, "So, how does that feel?" Each time the youngsters said it was freedom. "I felt completely free." Zoran would see that the feeling comes from inside of you. Flying triggered that feeling. You can have that feeling even when you are toiling with soil in the field. Slowly, they would have a complete understanding what he was saying. Zoran loved to use practical experience to convey his message. He felt that laughter is the best medicine in life. Laugh at your problems. They may not disappear, but at least they won't bother you. Laughter is the key to life. When little Ricky and little Johnny lived in the British Isles at times, little Ricky would get irritated by small things. His twin brother would start to laugh. Of course, this made little Ricky more irritated. At some point in time, something snapped inside of little Ricky, and he would start laughing. Little Ricky wondered why he got irritated in the first place. Even back then, they were trying to be aware and conscious moment by moment. These flying adventures took place for thousands of years. The feelings never change. Man and dragons were meant to fly together. This was the golden age of man and dragons.